I know that every single one of you is one of the world's most exceptional people. Because you are unwilling to play at the same game that everybody else is playing. You are willing to take risks that other people are unwilling to take. And you are the kind of people I want to play with. And I also know something about you. There is a piece of you, a part of you where you know that you are here to play an even bigger game and that you want to be completely unstoppable. Yes? Let's do it. Let's do it. I will proudly call myself a crazy one. Anybody else? I am totally fine with saying, I would like to change the world. Anybody else? All right. Because I believe that you and I are cut from a different cloth than everybody else. I think it takes something really special for someone to not work in a cubicle, but rather to decide to take the great leap of faith and start their own business and live their life on their own terms, in service to others, yes? Because we can't bear to clock in and clock out, right? And our families don't always understand us, do they? Friends, why wouldn't you just collect a regular paycheck instead of going out on your own? Too little. Right? But it's not such a regular, safe paycheck always, is it? And you can make so much more and have so much more meaning and fulfillment when it's your own thing, right? And I believe that they don't understand us because we are here to make a difference in the world in a way that nobody else can make, right? You may have heard my story, my analogy about sharing your brownies. There's some of you in this room who haven't heard it, and even if you've heard it, it's really good to circle back around, okay? So I want you to imagine that you are in your kitchen, and you've got a house full of people, friends and family in the other room, and you're in your kitchen, and you're baking up a tray of brownies. Anybody like brownies? Yeah, come on, tell the truth. Okay. And the brownies, you know how like when they're just about perfectly cooked, they're about to come out of the oven, and the aroma permeates the entire house. And somebody pops their head into the kitchen and says, "Hey, what are you doing in there? It smells amazing." And you say, "Never mind. This is none of your business. Go back to the other room." And you take the brownies out of the oven, and you cut them up, and you lay them out beautifully on a round platter, and you pick them up. And as opposed to going to the living room where they are all gathered, you go in the opposite direction to the corner of the kitchen, and you sit down, and you manage somehow to eat every single one of them. What does that make you? Not feeling so good, right? And what else does that make you? Yeah, you're not sharing your brownies, right? You're stingy, you're greedy, you're selfish, yeah? Because you got all this good stuff, and yet somehow you're keeping it for yourself. Well, I believe that every single one of us was given special talents, right? Unique abilities, ways of doing things that somehow everybody's like, how do you do that so easily? And it just comes so naturally to you that you discount it a bit, yes? Yeah? So you were given these unique talents, abilities, skills, ways of being that nobody else is quite like, right? And everybody's astounded by the way that you do this particular thing. And you are able to do that thing all day, every day, and you could do more of it, yeah? And then you were also given experiences. Good ones and not so good ones. Ones you I believe that with every single client we work with, we change the world. There is a ripple effect. You take that rock and you throw it into the placid lake, it creates a ripple. That's just one client. Imagine if you were to throw 100 big rocks into the water. What would happen? Lots of ripples, right? It affects the people around, not just your client, but the people around them. They will end up doing things that you'll never know about based on working with you that will also change the world. And so instead of having 2 or 12 clients, how about we go for 20 clients, 200 clients and customers, 2,000, 20,000, 200,000. Maybe 2 million people read your book, watch your TV show, download your products. That is called playing a bigger game. Turn to the person next to you and say, "Hi, we're just meeting." Go ahead. "Hi, we're just meeting." But she's going to make us do a high five now. High five. I believe that it is your duty to play a bigger game, otherwise you're being stingy and greedy with what was given to you. You could keep it to yourself and hoard it, or be of service, yeah? Because your clients cannot sleep without you. There are people who at 3 o'clock in the morning last night needed you and they didn't know you existed. Deep breath in. And so your purpose is to serve them. And the more people you serve, the more money you make, right? The more clients you have, the more money you make. So if you want to make, who wants to make more in their business? I want to see all hands up, or else you really should go to the beach, really. Come on now. Money is just a gauge, right? It's just a reward for being of service, right? So to experience more financial abundance in your life that you all said you wanted, you simply must play a bigger game, starting right now. So here's how you do it. This is a simple formula. You take your brownies, right? The stuff that was given, like you could call it your purpose, you could call it your passion, your calling, and you create a marketing message around it, right? Because you know I teach marketing, yeah? Yeah? I'm pretty good at it? Okay, yeah. Hence the client attraction sign, right? You create a compelling marketing message around your brownies so that when somebody says, "Oh my gosh, that's what I need," then you know you've got a potential client right there. And you take those brownies and that marketing message out there in a much, much bigger way, right? No more of these onesies, twosies. We're talking about getting your message out there in a bigger way. Is that what you want, right? Yeah, getting more meaning and fulfillment. That is how you multiply your income dramatically. I'm going to show you how. Right? Now you may be saying, "Okay, so that's cool, that's easy, I get it." So what's the problem? Why isn't everybody playing a much bigger game and making a lot more money because of it? I'll tell you what's getting in the way. Do you want to know? Somebody nod, remember? I need a lot of attention, a lot of feedback. Feelings of inadequacy, right? Not being good enough, not knowing enough. I know because I live this, okay? Who am I to play so big? It's for somebody else, but not for me. Ever feel that? Like, oh, it's okay for Oprah, it's okay for Bono, it's okay for Fabienne, it's okay for other people, but me, little old me, I don't think I'm cut out for that. Sometimes we cling to the world we already know because it's just safer than the world we don't know. Turn to the person next to you and say, I've done that. To avoid discomfort, we use excuses, right? We're going to talk about excuses over the next 3 days. I know, deep breath in, right? Deep breath in. Feelings of not deserving abundance, or that you know how somehow somebody else deserves it or will take it away or something like that. You just don't always feel abundantly deserve it. Playing too small, right? self-sabotaging behaviors, shooting yourself in the foot. You know, like you get an opportunity and you know you have to follow through on it because it's like you asked for it. And then what happens? You procrastinate, you do it next week, next month, you don't do it. But what my Winners Academy clients know that I always say this. You do not get results from things you don't implement. You should write that down. You do not get results from things you don't implement. Makes sense, right? And so self-sabotaging behaviors. But there's also that very loud inner critic. I don't need to tell you what it says, right? We all have our version of it. Or saying you're too busy. In the past, an opportunity has shown up, and you were too afraid to invest in yourself or in that opportunity, right? Money excuses, yeah? Deep breath in. Indecision. I'll do it. Oh, let me back out. I'll say yes. I changed my mind. Even though you know that that opportunity is the one that will take you to that next level of playing a bigger game, yeah? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Procrastinating on things you know you need to do. I've done that. Anybody else? Come on. More excuses, but this time people will say, oh, no, I don't have an excuse, but I have a really good reason. Which is just an excuse masquerading as a reason, yeah? Negative self-talk, that's mine. What's wrong with you? That's the one that for 40 years played in my head. Fear of what people will think if you get bigger, if you succeed or make more money. Anybody fear of criticism? Yeah, it's really big. Ignoring the signs. You know, like signs show up. You could choose to pay attention to them or you could ignore them. Being unwilling to do what it takes. Not saying yes to the opportunities that are right in front of you. Go like this. Everybody. The opportunity for you to get to the next level is already in your life. It's right there. Look at it. It's right under your nose. Sometimes we have to search for it, though, because you can't always see right here, right? Sometimes we're too scattered. Woohoo! We entrepreneurs are great starters. We love to start, except you, Morna. We just don't love to finish things, yes? Can we unite in that, please? Entrepreneurs unite. Woo! And then there's the perfection paralysis. No one in this room, right? Absolutely no one. Zero perfection paralysis. And then, of course, there's its twin, the analysis paralysis. Let me figure this out. Let me figure this out some more. And then you don't get anywhere, yeah? And the next one's a little bit of a doozy because you won't admit. You might have admitted all those, but this is the one that most people don't admit to. Resenting rich and successful people, even if you don't mean to. Deep breath in. And then there's the not having enough persistence and not having enough faith in your abilities. So these are all subtle forms of self-sabotage. Do you get that? So deep in your gut, you know that you are capable and you have the potential of playing a really big game. Yes? Yes? You know it, or you wouldn't be here. Right? There's a reason why there's several hundred people here, but the rest of the thousands are over there. You know deep in your heart, deep in your gut, that you are meant to play a bigger game and to be of service to others in an even bigger way. And yet, why aren't you there yet? Okay, so that's what's happening. So now you know. You could go if you want. Now you know. Thing is, most people don't know what to do about these. Okay? The good thing is, I want to tell you that it's not your fault. There is nothing wrong with you. Somebody say, woohoo! Right? But if you want to experience abundance, you have to get past these things. Does that make sense? Okay? Okay? 3 things need to be congruent. And I'm going to take you through this over the next 3 days. So I'm just doing a little tiny overview. We're going to dive deep. Okay? Woohoo! Number 1, your thoughts have got to match your belief systems. And those must be congruent with your actions. And when you have congruence, you have abundance. Right? So here's how it works. Your conscious thoughts have got to be in alignment with your subconscious beliefs and expectations. Because you attract what you believe to be true, whether good or bad, and you attract what you believe to, what you expect, good or bad. I mean, we could just do an entire 3-day course just around that sentence, right? And then your actions must match those things, because if they don't, you're not getting anywhere fast. It's the same thing around that you don't get results from things you don't implement. Same thing. And so when you do this, when you have this internal alignment, the opportunities flow in, the results flow in, the reward of your work, meaning money and large amounts of abundance, flow in. Deep breath in. Turn to the person next to you and say, I want this internal alignment. And when you have it, everything flows. And when you don't have it, you continue to wonder what's happening on a day-to-day basis, wondering why you're not getting there anytime soon. So here's the thing you must know. Some people try to get results by using willpower. Does it work, Mark? No. Hasn't yet, right? You can't change your life using willpower. I've tried. Anybody ever dieted? Yeah. That lasts, 3 months if you're just using willpower. My experience only. You may have a different experience. If not, let's chat. If so, let's chat, right? The reason why willpower doesn't work is because it comes from the conscious, not the subconscious. It's the stuff that's getting in your way is happening underneath the surface. It's in your mindset. So I used to think, as you saw in the video, that mindset was 10% of it. But I thought it was 0%, actually. I thought, you just get really good at marketing, and then you get clients. I would not have such client attraction has grown a lot. Have you noticed that? Yeah. By the way, we just made the Inc. list again this year. So I thought it was 0%, and then I'd hand everything to somebody, and I'd say, okay, go. This is like the keys to the kingdom. Just model it, copy it, just go. Oh, they'd hem and haw, they'd question, analysis paralysis, procrastinate, perfection paralysis, all of this stuff, right? And I'd say 6 months later, so did you send out that warm letter? Oh, I didn't get to that yet. But you'll get clients. Yeah, but I don't know if it's exactly the way that I would do, all of that. So I'm like, okay, I wove in a little mindset. I thought, okay, just a little bit, because I think clearly there's a need here. And then what I realized is, I thought it was, maybe 50% of it, because the more I worked on my mindset, my personal growth and development, my faith, all of that, the more clients I got, the bigger opportunities. I mean, my very first workshop, I had 42 people, including ourselves. And look. And hundreds and hundreds of clients and thousands of customers. That happened when I worked on my mindset, you guys. And this is what these entire 3 days are about. Because now I believe that it's 90%. Because anyone can hand you the keys to the marketing kingdom, but it's all about how you take action on it and what you believe and expect to be true. So you still need marketing, or else I wouldn't be in business. You still need marketing. But it's like the mindset is the fertile soil for the marketing seeds to grow and blossom. Does that make sense? Okay. So your inner game actually dictates your outer game. Your inner game is your mindset. Your outer game is your marketing and your actions. Turn to the person next to you and say, that makes sense. That makes sense. And if the struggle on the outside, whether it's a struggle of getting clients, whether it's a struggle like you want to put on your own workshop, you want to get that book, you want to have a corporate sponsor, whatever it is that you want to do, and if you don't have it yet and you keep banging your head against the wall, it's not happening on the outside. It's happening on the inside. Every time. Turn to the person next to you and say, it happens every time on the inside. Every time on the inside. That's right. So now you know where the obstacle is. Woo! Okay, go. You can go. Now you know what to do. You're welcome, John. Love you. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Okay. So what do you do about it, right? Most people don't know. And this is what the next 3 days are about. Go like this with me. Roll up your sleeves. Put on your rubber boots. No, just kidding. We're just going to take a look inside, shall we? Okay? We're going to pinpoint where that misalignment is. Is it going to be painful? No. No, it's not going to be painful. Because we're going to dance throughout the entire 3 days. There's one thing, if you don't already know this about me, is I'll work, but it better be fun. Otherwise, what's the point? So we're going to look at the internal struggle. We're going to locate the fears, because you got fears, right? I got fears. You got fears? Anybody got fears? Yeah? Yeah? You got some negative belief systems? Let's just work on those. We can do this in a matter of minutes. Look at me. We can do this in a matter of minutes. Okay. Louder, Ron. Can you just... Yeehaw! Yeehaw! No, that's the men's version. That's the men's version. We're going to identify your self-image, because who you see yourself to be on the outside is what actually creates your reality. Did I say that again? Who you see yourself to be on the inside is what creates your reality on the outside, right? And we're going to look for any inconsistencies in your behavior. You know what I mean? Like you ask somebody, when was the last time, how often do you send your monthly letter? They say every 6 months. Right? All of those things that are getting in the way, we're going to investigate and shift them. And you will immediately, and I believe permanently, play a bigger game. And when you do, you multiply your income. Every time. Every time.